Hello and welcome to my Tarot Corner. So King Charles dropped a bomb yesterday and it's called Frogxit. And apparently the Prince Harry and his wife are told to exit Frogmore Cottage. They were exiled from it. They were told to take all of their things out of there. They are supposed to ship those things to their US home. And apparently the keys to Frogmore Cottage were offered to Prince Andrew as his next place to stay instead of the Royal Lodge, which apparently he cannot afford to stay in. The Royal Lodge is supposed to be his place I understand that he lists the Royal Lodge for 75 years, but it is very costly to maintain and it needs a lot of renovation, and now he's not getting any stipend anymore from the coffers of the king. Not what he got from the queen before she died. She used to give him at least 1,000 pounds a year, and he's not getting that money any longer, so he cannot afford to stay in the Royal Lodge any longer. Or maybe he can, but he doesn't want to use his money in order to renovate the Royal Lodge. Anyway, the king offered Frogmore Cottage to Prince Andrew. Whether he is going to accept it or not, it's another question. But this shows that the king, despite everything, decided that Harry and Meghan are not welcome in, at least they don't have a UK resident any longer. So if they want to come to the UK, they can either get themselves a costly suite in one of the hotels, which I won't be at all surprised to learn that they have done so in past visits. And they kept Frogmore Cottage just for their own amusement. And we do know that Eugenie lived in Frogmore Cottage for a while, and there was talk about them being there together at some times, but I'm not sure at all that they did not take lodging in a hotel in London. And but now Omid Scobie, of course, is on fire, and he's blaming the world for everything. And he's saying that the only thing that allowed them to come back to the UK with security was having Frogmore Cottage, and the fact that they don't have Frogmore Cottage any longer is not allowing them to come back as a family unit to the UK any longer. And one of the things that he said that really made me laugh was that the one thing that made them made it possible for them to participate in the Platinum Jubilee events for the Queen was the fact that they had Frogmore Cottage. And I said, okay, how many events for the Platinum Jubilee did they participate in? And the children, how many events exactly? So, okay, so I'm going to do a simple spread. It's a cross spread. I'm going to look at the past, at the present, at the future. Is it the first sign of their stripping of the titles? Is the stripping of the titles the next step? Does it mean that they will not arrive to the coronation, or will they come to the coronation anyways? and then take some extra cards to see if Prince Andrew will decide to move to Frogmore Cottage as well. So usually when I do a tarot reading, I start with an SOS reading, but actually you can start with any kind of reading that you want. So I'm going to start with the cross, and then I will not do a lot of questions for the tarot readings. I will do just 2 more questions as a tarot reading, and we will move on from there. Okay, so before I start, please take a few moments to read my full disclaimer in the description box. This is a tarot reading. It is vibrational. It is open to interpretation. It exists as assumptions and speculation, and as such may or may not be true. So please do your own research and decide for yourselves. Okay, so let's finish this. Oh, I didn't say what kind of deck this is. This is the AWAKEN Tarot, which is another modern take of the Right Away Tarot. It's kind of a new deck, and AWAKEN Tarot, it's like an awakening for the British royal family. Sound like something that I wanted to, a message that I wanted to convey today. Okay, so let's start by clearing the deck. I'll do it once more. Okay. So King Charles is evicting Harry and Meghan from Frogmore Cottage. What is the reason for that? What is the past leading to this? What can we see in the present and the future of his decisions? Is this a first move before he is going to strip them from their titles? Is this going to cement Harry's decision not to attend the coronation, or will the Sussexes decide to attend? Anyway, so what can we see around King Charles' decision to evict Harry and Meghan from Frogmore Cottage? The reasons, the past, the present, and the future. Okay, so usually in the cross, it is something that is differing from reading to reading, but what I'm going to start with is in the past. And the past that is leading here is the 10 of Wands. And this is an overload, and this is a card that shows that Harry took things one step too far. He weighed more and more and more on Charles, on the British royal family. It started with the Queen, and it started by disrespecting the Queen. It started with while the Queen was still alive, and it started with disrespecting Prince Philip while he was very sick with the Oprah interview. And then it went on and on and on. And I think that King Charles actually blames Harry for Queen Elizabeth, maybe even disease, or her last 2 years that were not as happy as they could have been. And then after the Queen died, just things went on and on. Then there was the Netflix documentary and Spare, and the interviews that came before Spare came out, and the interviews that came after Spare came out. And Harry keeps on saying that he demands an apology. These are more and more obstacles, more and more wands that were added to the load that King Charles had to carry, and it was just way too much. So this is what we see in the past. This is an overload. This is just way too much. It's like, you know, when you say the straw that broke the camel's back. That is exactly the image that I'm getting when I'm seeing this card. When I'm talking about why things are happening the way that they're happening. Sometimes you can, you know, take if you take a rubber band and you pull it and pull it, and you can stretch it for a while, but in the end it will tear. It will tear because there is a limit to the amount of obstacles that a person can take. There is an amount to the wands that a person can carry. There's an obstacle. There's a limit to the overload that Harry could have put in his father's way, and I think that Harry underestimated the damage that he was doing. He underestimated the wrath of King Charles, and he really thought that King Charles loved him so much so that he will be willing to do whatever Prince Harry wanted just to bring him back to the family. He really thought that it is something that he can do whatever he wants, and he can, well, play on King Charles' feelings of guilt because of what happened with Diana, because of Harry's childhood, because all of those things, everything. And he thought that he could go on and pull the rubber and push King Charles's buttons, but this was an overload. So this is something that happened in the near past. So what is happening in the present? And in the present, we are in the Ten of Swords. And I always describe the Ten of Swords, and this is the second 10. So the tens are always the ending of the cycles. This is the end of the series. This is the end of the wands, and this is the end of the swords. And both of them are telling us that the end here is very near. So we are seeing here that the end of, let's say, the rope that King Charles gave Harry is coming to an end. Now, the Ten of Swords is an interesting card because it's a card that shows a process, and the process starts with mistakes. And the mistakes are being made, and then there is the stage of suffering and a rock bottom stage, and then there is a lesson learned, and after the lesson is learned, there is the ability to see the sunlight coming up. Now, the lesson that is learned here is the lesson that the British royal family has learned. It's the lesson that King Charles has learned, and the mistakes were made by the British royal family, were made by King Charles, and he realizes that. And these two cards are relating to how King Charles is feeling. He feels the overload. He feels all of the obstacles that Harry put in his way, and he's the one that understands right now that he has made all of those mistakes that has put him in this rock bottom stage. These mistakes here are the ones that are responsible to the fact that he's now he's not happy, despite the coronation that is coming, despite everything that he's trying to show us, that he shows this brave face and happiness, and he's trying to show the world that everything is going on as usual, and things are are keeping on the way that they should, but he's not happy. But because it's the Ten of Swords, it's not the Nine of Swords. This is a card that shows that he realizes he made those mistakes. He realizes that he needs to learn the lessons. And he right now is looking towards the sunlight that is coming, to the dawn of the new day. So he's looking towards his coronation, a new beginning, and the new beginning is going to be probably without Harry. So he understands that the new British royal family cannot include Harry. He will have to give Harry up. This is part of the process. This is his payment for his sins. This is his way of repenting for his mistakes. This is his understanding that this is the way that he needs to, this is the way that he needs to show that he learned the lesson. So this is about learning from your mistakes and realizing how you are going to move forward. But the Ten of Swords is a card that shows that there is a possibility of moving forward. So it's an end of a cycle, but there is a new cycle that is looming. There is something new that is starting. So this is not such a bad card. It is a card that looks ominous, but it is actually a card that has bright future in it. And it's a card that promises new beginnings and something that is coming that is, a new beginning, a rehabilitation. So this is the present. So what can we see for the future? And the future is the Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords shows that the road is not going to be so easy. Five of Swords is a card that speaks about taking action. This is a card that shows that this is not something that will pass so easily, and we see that there is already some kind of backlash from Omid Scobie, and he declares that there are two royals that are appalled. I don't know who those two royals can be, if not Harry and Meghan themselves, but this can lead to criticism. The Five of Swords is a card that speaks about the need to be active and to get off the fence and to start doing things, not waiting for things to happen by themselves. So this is a card that shows that the possibilities are not good. So whatever choice that you might choose, so deciding on going all the way forward and stripping them of the titles and being very, very, let's say, total with cutting them out, it has its ramifications, and deciding to be more easy on them and take it one step at a time and maybe trying to pacify Harry with something has its other ramifications. So this card is showing us that the road is not going to be easy. But the worst thing that he can do is not act, is to wait for things to happen by themselves and to not take a chance. The best thing that he can do is to move forward, to push forward and not wait for things to happen by themselves. Sometimes when you're afraid that you're taking things too fast, or you are afraid that you might get hurt, you are afraid that you went too far, you're coiling back, you are trying to pull back from things that you have done because you're afraid. But this card shows to King Charles that he shouldn't do that. This card is telling him don't sit on the fence. Don't wait for things to happen by themselves. Don't wait to see what other people are saying. Don't wait for criticism or for people to commend you for what you've done, what you're doing. Don't wait for this. Go on, move forward with what you're planning, and just move forward. Don't wait for things to happen. This is what this card is telling him, but it is showing that whatever he's doing to do, he's going to get some kind of criticism, some kind of backlash. It's not going to be easy. Okay, so that's the future. The next card is the underlying energy, or what is in his subconscious. And I'm getting here the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles is not only about money, it's also the hesitant Knight. And the hesitant Knight shows hesitancy. It shows that it wasn't an easy decision. And this shows that, first of all, it's something that took a long time in the works. It was something that King Charles thought about and thought very hard, and he needed a lot of confirmation before he went and did this and took this step. He wasn't sure that he's doing the right thing. Why did we get a pentacle card here? I suppose that it's because they saw that Harry and Meghan keep on using their titles and their for monetary things. But once again, this shows the hesitancy, and it shows that it took Charles a long time to get to this decision, and probably he was told by his aides, by his consultant, a long time beforehand that he should have done this, but he waited for things to happen. He waited for the right time in order to be able to tell Andrew that he needs to go to, that he needs to leave the Royal Lodge, that he so he has the opportunity to go to Frogmore Cottage. So all of this is around having the right timing, but it's not a great timing to do that just before the coronation. So there was a lot of hesitancy, because he knew that no matter what he does, he will be scrutinized and it will be difficult for him. So he knew that it's not going to go over easily, and he was afraid about it, and this is why he was hesitant about it. And let's say in the conscious mind, or what his goals were, I'm getting the Hermit. And the Hermit is a card that speaks about going within and contemplating on getting the real answers. So this is another card that shows that this was not taken lightly. This was not a decision that King Charles took with a light heart. This was something that he had to think about. So both of these cards show that he thought about it very, very hard. He took a long time. He did a lot of introspection. The Hermit shows that he really took some time alone to think about it, outside, without outside noises, without outside forces that will tell him what is right or what is wrong, listening to his heart, listening to what he feels that is true. So this is how he felt that it's true, and his goals was to do the right thing. So the Hermit is about getting to the truth and getting to the grain of truth and doing the right thing according to what you believe that is true. And this is not a bad card. It's a card that shows that this was not a decision that he that he just let others make that decision. It was something that he really thought very hard about, and that's why it took him so long. So once again, this was a decision that he took with a very, very heavy heart, and he had to think about it very long, very hard, and to go within to be sure that he's doing the right thing for the monarchy and for him as a father and as the head of the royal family, so as the head of the institution, for the British royal family and for the British people. So he had to look at the whole picture, and this is exactly what the hermit is doing. The hermit is another one that is doing the same process that the Ten of Wands, that the Ten of Swords is doing. It's exactly the same process of going within, so it's exactly the same process of introspection and realizing the truth and realizing what it is that you need to do. So with Ten of Swords, it is because you realize that you have made a mistake and you suffer, and then that is causing you to understand what your mistakes were and to understand that you need to pay the price for your mistakes, and then you can move forward. With the Hermit, it is the need to do the introspection, because you are facing questions that need big answers. Okay, so that is the cross. Now, the Tarot, it's going to be 3 questions. So, usually with the Tarot, what I'm doing is I am using the rest of the deck, and I'm asking the universe to align the cards in the right way to answer correctly my next questions. And then for each question I'm taking 4 cards, and the 5th card is I'm flipping only the 5th card, and the 5th card is a yes or no answer. And if I'm getting a message card and not a direction card, then we need to look at the meaning of the card to understand what is the message. So first I'm clearing the deck once again. Sorry. Okay, so please align the cards in the correct way to answer my next questions. Please align the cards in the correct way to answer my next questions. Please align the cards in the correct way to answer my next questions. Please align the cards in the correct way to answer my next questions. So in the Tarot, we cut only once. Okay, so the first card, for the first question will be, is stripping the titles on the table. Is King Charles contemplating stripping the titles? Is it something that is planned for the future? So taking 4 cards, and let's see what is the 5th card telling us. Okay. 4, number 5 is number 4. And number 4 is a message card. It's a message card leaning towards a no. And it is and the message of this card is doubts. So I would say that King Charles hasn't made a decision yet. It's not yet decided. He's still thinking about it. He's still doubting whether it is the right course of action. He's not sure. So it's not a definite no. It's not a definite, it's not a yes, but it's not a definite no. It's a message. And it's a message that shows that King Charles right now is thinking about it. He is deliberating. He is taking the same process that he has done before with the hermit. And he is full of doubts on whether or not it is the right time, whether it is the right course of action. Right now, it's not in the cards, so it's not going to happen, not in the next year, I think, or at least not in the next 4 months. So, because it's Four of Cups, usually it signifies months. So at least not in the next 4 months, that's for sure. But I think that not until the end of 2023. I don't think that we will see stripping of the titles. So I think that let's not be prematurely too happy. It's taking a long time to take significant steps here, and he's still considering it. So it's not a complete no. It's a message, but it shows us that he's thinking about the question and he's looking at all of the aspects of this question. Next card, the next question is, will Andrew move to Frogmore Cottage? So, taking 4 cards. And the 5th card is the Chariot. Once again, as a major arcana, the Chariot is a message card. But the Chariot speaks about chasing after the dream. It's about moving towards the dream. And this is a card of moving, okay? This is a card of moving from one place to another. So, and you could see the movement in this card on the motorcycle. This card gives me the vibration of a yes in this instance. And I believe that for Prince Andrew, Frogmore Cottage is kind of an answer to his wishes. He doesn't want to leave the royal family's estates completely. He doesn't want to spend money on the royal lodge. So Frogmore Cottage is like a good compromise. And I believe that if it is a real offer on the table, he will take it. So maybe we got a major arcana because it is not completely settled, but he will take it if it is a real offer on the table. Okay, last question is, will Harry still come to the coronation? And I'm not asking about her because I'm not sure. I think that if he comes, then she will come too. She will not let him come alone. But what I really care about is whether he will come. So will he come to the coronation? And the answer is 9 of Wands. And 9 of Wands is a message card leaning towards a no. But it is leaning towards a no, but it's not a complete no. So the 9 of Wands is a card of someone who is standing towards the last obstacle, but believing that everything will be okay if he just stands there and suffers and he, despite everything, he keeps on standing, then everything will be okay. And I believe that this is how Harry sees himself. He sees himself as someone who bravely stands there, suffers, and gets all of the humiliation that his family is throwing his way, and all of the bad things that his family is doing him and his wife. And despite everything, he's still standing, and he's still with his head high and is still proudly holding his mast, and he still feels proud, and he in a way, feels that he is very brave. This is how he feels. He feels very brave. He feels that he's very powerful. This is a card of someone who feels very powerful. So although right now he's leaning towards a no way, I will not go there. This is way too much of a slight towards me. I am too hurt, and this is just two obstacle that I will not take. But deep in his psyche, he feels that if he will go to the coronation, it's like I will show them that despite everything, I am stronger. So this is why it's a message card and not a complete no. Because there is a flickering yes in the back of his mind that his pride and ego will not let him completely give up. And wands are a lot about ego. Ego is a very big part of wands energy. It's fire, it's ego, and standing there despite all of the obstacles, despite all of the lashes, that the beatings that he has suffered, he's still standing there like this hero, and this is how he sees himself, as this hero. It's like showing the British royal family, showing his family what he's made of, and I am made of a stronger material, and you cannot break me. And this is his way of showing them, I will show you, I will go to the coronation, you will not break me. So that is his ego, and it is there, very, very, very hidden in the back of his mind, and that is why it is not a complete no, and that is why it is leaning towards a no, but it's not a complete no. So to sum it up, King Charles hasn't decided completely that he is going to that he's not going to strip Harry. So he hasn't decided completely towards that. But he does know that he needs to do something, that he won't be able to just sit on the fence and let things happen. And Prince Andrew will move to Frogmore Cottage if that offer is a serious one. And Harry right now is thinking that he will not go to the coronation, not after how he was slighted now. But in the back of his mind, he feels that he wants to show them. I will show them. I will show them that I have made from a stronger material, that I can be stronger than that. I will show them that they don't want me to be in the coronation. I will be there. I will show them that I can be there, and I will do. It's like a child that is a petulant child that is doing exactly the opposite of what his parents wants him to do. So that is how he feels. They don't want me to come, I will show them. I will go there. I will be there. Although I don't think that King Charles doesn't want him to come. And maybe it is like a negative and a negative that creates a positive. And maybe King Charles thinks that by causing Harry to feel that he needs to prove to the world that he can come to the coronation and show them that he is stronger than they are, he can get him to participate in the coronation. I don't know. Okay, so let's see what the oracle says. And this is the Star Dragon oracle. So it's for the British royal family as a whole. So let's clear the deck, and a message for the British royal family on Harry and Meghan being evicted from Frogmore Cottage. A message for the British royal family on Harry and Meghan being evicted from Frogmore Cottage. It's beautiful, beautiful cards. I actually like the messages on them as well. Effort, conquering your demons. So the message of this card is, first of all, to take action, to right all wrongs and to find their own power. It's about when the going gets tough, shoot a fireball and watch it all burn. It is time to work hard and play it harder. Interesting. What it also says, it get moving. If you want something, if you want to break free, now is the time to start your climb. As you defeat all opponents and overcome obstacles, stay focused and keep working hard, putting in the right effort. So this card is telling King Charles and the rest of the royal family, if they want to be able to shut Harry up, they need to keep on. They need to understand. They cannot stay on the fence. They need to be active. They need to start doing things. They cannot wait for the universe to do the action. And I think that's one thing that King Charles needs to understand. He cannot stay in that energy of the Four of Cups for a long time. He will have to make a decision, and to do that fast, he needs to take the effort, start conquering what he needs, and his demons. That's his son, unfortunately. So he will have to do that. Okay, so this is it for this reading. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.